I can replace 80% of the people who work for you in 2 weeks with AI, maybe 100%. Bill Gates asked the robot, is there anything you'd like to say to us? Big pause, don't trust us. This is what the computer said to him. If you don't believe AI is gonna make us extinct, you gotta start drinking if you don't. The father of AI said in 5 years, 40 and 60% of the job market is gone. I say it's between 60 and 80%. MIT wrote a paper that the human race would not get past this century. And they just wrote another paper about 6 months ago. We're ahead of schedule. If you think that I'm aggressive now, you should have seen me when I was 30.
Would people think you were psycho?
They still do. But now I'm a psycho sitting on God only knows how much cash. Every day I wake up and I've added $1 billion and a half. While I'm taking a while I'm on top of my wife, without doing anything. And for some reason I gotta cut a deal with the devil, I'd cut a deal tonight. Right now, I'll do anything to succeed, anything. If you're not afraid of Pena, you're crazy. I fought the mafia. Jesus Christ, they tried to kidnap my kids. We had firefights, gun battles. I wore a wire.
So why do you think the world's gonna be over soon?
As Elon Musk and Bill Gates said, we need 3 billion less people. I am the second coming. I'm the closest to Christ you're gonna see in your lifetime.
Is there any harm in telling people how much money you have?
No.
How much you have?
I got more money than, more sex than the Beatles.
What's your thoughts on like the Charlie Kirk assassination?
Oh, that's tragic. I mean.
Well, the question is who did it? What it is, Brad Lee back again with another episode of Dropping Bombs. Today in the studio, folks, the crowd favorite, Mr. Dan Pena's in the house once more.
Thank you.
Welcome. Thank you for coming. Folks, if you guys don't know Dan Pena, you're probably A, lying, or B, dumber than a box of rocks. You can find him all over social media. You can follow him at Dan S. Pena. He's been making millionaires, literally billionaires for years and years and years. He's got this big ass castle in Scotland where literally, if you're lucky, you can apply, get accepted, go over there and learn exactly what's made him hundreds and hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars. And that's no shit. I've talked to several people that have went there. I was playing the skeptic, like, come on, what does he teach? What does he teach? And they're like, he does yell, but at the end of the day, it was a hell of an experience. And what I learned was worth everything, let alone just the whole trip to Scotland, hanging out in a castle. It sounds like a killer freaking opportunity. But before I get to that, because I do want to talk about that, I know that right now there's $10 trillion of wealth being transferred. A lot of these companies that are existing, cash flowing businesses, that if they knew your shit, they could buy with zero to no money down, literally, and kick off to a whole different thing. So to me, it's like, man, what is it that you think makes people so naive to how easy it is to make money? Because you would say it's easy to make money.
Yeah.
You haven't had a paycheck since 1992.
January 92.
How much do you think you've made since then?
3-4 billion.
So why it's easy to make money fresh out of prison.
If that's your only desire and you're laser beam focused, I've been telling people the ones that get laser beam focused first, stay laser beam focused longest, win most. And you've interviewed a couple of my kids here, nice kids, but they're thick as shit. I lost more brains when I took a shit this morning. Of the brightest that I've taught, and I've had maybe 10 kids that are, I would consider intellectually wise, my equal, but you don't have to be my equal. You can be thick as a rock.
Don't you believe that the lower your IQ, the more money you make? No.
It doesn't matter what low IQ or high IQ if you can laser beam focus. Guys with real super high IQs get lost in the noise, as they say now. The information we get now via the internet, and this is before artificial intelligence, is trillions per microsecond squared. Well, nobody can focus on that. You hear Bill Gates goes away 1 week a year, and he goes in a cabin someplace, and he no phones, no this, no that, just so he can concentrate on what he thinks he wants to do the next 1 to 3 to 5 years. When you have a meeting with Bill or you have a meeting with Elon, it's 6 minutes long. If you can't start and finish in 6 minutes, you're fucked. They escort you out of the room. And why 6 minutes? Scientifically, that's about your brain can You can teach you how to make an atom bomb in 6 minutes. Now just imagine all the spreadsheeting. It's not you, your people do for you. I can replace 80% of the people who work for you in 2 weeks with AI, maybe 100%.
AI's coming. AI's here.
The father of AI said here a few weeks ago that he says in 5 years, 40 and 60% of the job market as we know it today is gone. I say it's between 60 and 80%. It's gone. You're not going to be doing pod fucks like this.
What will you be doing?
Nobody knows.
How will AI take out pod fucks?
We're going to have a hologram there. I'm starting podcasts for the first time in my life in January, okay? The precursor to my hologram podcast.
So are you just going to...
At the end of the first or second year, it's going to be a hologram giving the podcast for me, not me. I got better things to do.
What will the student be looking at?
You mean the person I'm interviewing?
Yeah.
I could line up a double file from here to Chicago. The people want to be on a podcast with me.
Yeah, I'd find those. It's obviously going to be.
Now,
a hit.
You've interviewed a couple, okay? Yeah. And one especially, how did he make that money? Watching part of 5 films. He's got invested about 25 minutes. 25 fucking minutes.
Yeah, and this kid came out of prison.
Correct.
He wasn't like the brightest bulb.
I like prison guys. They're focused.
And they're also like, they've already hit rock bottom.
Correct.
And once you hit rock bottom, you realize, dude, there ain't nothing but up. So your mindset shifts to abundance and possibility.
Correct. And we stress that. And the seminar that we're starting in a couple of weeks, we have 3 guests, one of which is a Canadian guy. He in 5 years, he's created about 70 plus million in EBITDA. 70. He's been in the seminar twice. The last time he came, I saved him from signing a private equity deal where he was exiting. And so we made him a case study. And by the end of the second day, he's crying, the deal he cut. I said that you left 25 million here. You could have got an extra 60 million here. And the other person that's coming live is a guy named Tito, who I rarely do this, but let's say your kid. You're not your father. You're never going to make a kid. Go blow your fucking brains out. That's what I told him. He just was on the Hall of Fame for creating 11 or 12 million in EBITDA. And that's the only number I look at. I don't give a shit about it. It's EBITDA, free cash flow. And he's coming back. And he did it to prove me wrong. He's a half-breed. He's a half this, a half that. Illegal, this, that. And he created, he's a wealthy guy. And the other guy.
Are they doing it in the U.S. or?
No, they're coming on their nickel. They're coming to spend a day and a half each at the castle to thank me.
Yeah, but when they learn what they learned, are they coming back to the U.S.?
No. Well, he went back to Canada. The other guy went back to Canada. Yesterday, I met with a guy that also happens to be Canadian, but he just moved to the United States. He came back to invite me to a special thing of rich people that's going to exist in January here in Las Vegas. And my wife just told me, the night before, I never want to come to Vegas again. There's only 3 restaurants worth of shit, and these are 3 restaurants. They both smoke up her ass. That's what she likes it, Oh, Mrs. Pena, she was wearing her 25 karat diamond last night, and the maitre d' and everybody, And I said, it's for sale. You want to buy that? It's for sale. You got any money? And a guy at the bar, and his wife says, oh, look at that, honey. And so I took my wife's hand like this, But I'm coming back in January to meet these guys because all of a sudden now my wife is interested. I could have my dinner bought for me until I'm 90. Every night. I just turned 80. I don't sound 80. I don't look 80. And everybody, all of a sudden, I'm a overnight 50-year success. I was in Los Angeles a few days ago to get a humanitarian award, lifetime humanitarian award. I haven't done shit the last 10 years. And now I've been knighted 3 times by the Catholic Church.
Is that who knights you?
Well, that's this time that's who knighted me.
I thought it was the queen.
No, they're different realms. Okay?
And then the queen is dead.
That queen's dead.
Yeah, so now it's the king.
Yeah. Yeah, I expect to be in the House of Lords. I expect to be canonized as a saint
Why?
because I'm a wannabe Catholic boy that trained me right. You build your self-esteem the first 7 years. Who had me the first 7 years? The nuns and priests beating the shit out of me. I met with the Archbishop of Los Angeles a week ago. I just got a note from him. We're all praying for you. The Archdiocese of 1.6 million people in LA are all praying for me.
Powerful.
You fucking ain't right.
What would you give as advice to parents nowadays? Because as you know,
Well, I give them to not have kids. Kids are overrated. Keep your legs locked, sweet pea. Get a fucking vibrator.
but if there's no kids, then we die off.
No, well, we're dying anyway. MIT wrote a paper. I know you're not that educated, so I'm going to help you along here a little. In 1972, MIT, one of the prestigious universities on the planet, wrote a huge dissertation that the human race would not get, as we know it, Homo sapien, this is before AI, would not get past this century that we're in. And they just wrote another paper about 6 months ago. We're ahead of schedule.
Do you believe that we're going to go extinct?
If you don't believe AI is going to make us extinct, you got to start drinking if you don't.
Explain how that would happen.
Do you watch any of the sci-fi movies?
Yes.
Okay. There was a movie with Will Smith called Robot.
Yeah.
Okay.
I am.
Oh, that's right. Okay. It's going to be something like that. 2 years ago, the three Grandmaster chess champions that existed at that time played the newest IBM computer chess. It was a week-long tournament. They had 50, 60, 70 matches. At the end, the human three chess players won by 1 point over the robot computer. And at the end, I think it was Bill Gates asked the robot, is there anything you'd like to say to us? Big pause. Don't trust us. Unprompted. This is what the fucking computer said to him. Don't trust us.
But AI and robotics would, would be the demise.
Yeah. There used to be programs, probably when you were a little kid, called Donovan's Brain. It was a brain, had a bunch of electrodes in it like this, and it took over the world eventually.
You remember War Games?
Yeah. We're fucked. But why not make hay while the sun shines?
That's what I keep saying.
Yeah.
Because if we're all fucked, it doesn't matter. You might as well just enjoy while you got.
Exactly.
Like driving to work today, you could be stressing or you could be fucking just enjoying the ride to work. It could be your last ride to work. Now you're 80 years old. How do you feel?
Like Twisted Steel and Panther Piss.
But do you feel like you do, like you did at 25?
I'm stronger now than I was when I was 70. I'm, do
you take any peptides? Or?
I take everything. I just had stem cells for the 7th time 2 weeks ago.
Do they work?
You tell me. We'll see what you won't even make it 70. You don't have to worry about it.
Oh, fuck, dude. I'm going to make it to 70.
We'll see. You know how many people have told me that are dead now, that I pissed on their grave?
What?
And I actually go piss on their grave. I got arrested once in Cleveland for doing that.
Would you give me your word that if I die before you, you'll come piss on my grave?
If you die before me,
yeah.
Well,
if you hear Bradley died, you got to come piss on my grave.
First of all, I wouldn't believe it. I'd have to see it with my own eyes. But yeah, I'll piss on your grave. You know how many eulogies if the estates allow me to honor my promises to give eulogies, I'm going to give eulogies and now until I'm 100.
Well, I mean, dude, 80 years of building relationships, really, but building millionaires and billionaires. Your Rolodex must be a fucking mile long. What does it take to impress Dan Pena?
Not possible. I mean,
so nobody impresses you.
I met the Pope.
Why would the Pope impress you? That's
because I'm a little Catholic boy, like I explained.
But that's an elected thing.
When I went to the Vatican, 465,000 screaming Catholics. It was like the jihad, with the Muslims. But I've been steeped in the Catholic Church for all my life. And we were too poor. I wasn't an altar boy because my family couldn't afford the little uniform you got to buy. $6 it was. the church that I was baptized with and I had my first communion, which is in East LA, Father Albert, who I now support, the church. And I was sitting in the front pew and I said, Father, the church seemed much bigger to me when I was little. Of course, now I can't hardly get in the front pew. And when I decided I should be sinless when I went to the Pope, so I went to communion, confession and communion. I had communion at the Vatican. And so I bless my Father for I have sinned. It has been, years since my last confession. But when I got done with my sins, the priest, who I know, he says, he leans forward. I said, oh, yeah. Are those all your sins? And I reached around the curtain. Father, you know who I am. What do you mean it's not all my sins? And I said, the days of, mayhem and murder and shit like that are way behind me. But if I go back my sins to the beginning, we're going to be here 4 or 5 weeks. The second time I got involved with the Vatican Bank about 20 years ago, I decided I should be sinless. So I wanted to, and one of my best friends who's now dead, Father John, he was a Carmelite priest, taught me when I was in high school. I said, I want to see a real experienced wartime priest. So they set me up with a guy named Maricina, Monsignor Maricina. So I'm telling him, having a cup of tea, a cup of coffee, and I'm telling him my sins. And he says, give me that little yellow pad, Mr. Pena. And it was a yellow pad like this. Every line, both sides of the paper filled. Took me weeks to count up all my sins. Weeks. And he looks at it and he says, Sodom and Gomorrah got nothing on you, Mr. Pena. That's murder, mayhem, rape, you name it. And I said, but I'm asking for forgiveness. Anyway, he gives me forgiveness. The next day I get a phone call from the head priest. This is in Houston, Texas. Are you sitting down, Mr. Pena? What do you mean sitting down? I thought you were going to say my dad died, my mom died. Monsignor Maricina dropped dead right after he gave you confession and absolution. I walked out of the rectory and he fucking dropped dead.
That's not funny, but
it's not funny.
The way you're saying it.
Well, I mean, what he heard, it's like having confession with Al Capone.
And you told him everything.
Everything.
Legal or illegal?
Illegal. He can't tell the cops.
If the police knew it, everything.
I'd be in jail.
Would you?
Yep. So I would have gone to jail. The last time I got arrested was assault with a deadly weapon on a cop.
Do you believe in God?
Absolutely.
Are you Catholic?
Yes.
So, out of curiosity,
I'm a stone Catholic through and through.
Orthodox?
Yeah. Hard. I'm a pre-Vatican II Catholic. That's when they was Latin. You had no fucking rights. They used to beat the shit out of you. That's the kind of Catholic I am.
Have you ever been blessed in going in the catacombs?
Yes.
What's down there?
It's like a Tom Hanks movie. I mean, it's scary. And then, you see where the first pope was buried, Paul, and it's eerie. It's eerie, yeah. So when I left the Vatican, I was as sinless as I was when I was born, as my wife would say, but it wears off Dan. Dan can only stay pure like that, if not minutes, seconds, hours. And so after about 8-10 days, I felt back to normal. But I actually did feel something. I did something.
What do you feel about what's going on in Nigeria?
All this war doesn't have to happen. But they've been fighting wars. I said there will never be a two solution to Gaza and Israel 45 years ago. When I was in business with the Israeli government, I was in business with the Saudi government. I was in business with the Sudan government. I was in business with the Al-Sabah family, Sheikh Al-Sabah of Kuwait. I've been in business with those guys for 35, 40 years. The hatred is so visceral. They fought 2 wars in 1188 and 1422, the holy wars. Nothing's changed. Nothing's changed. Unfortunately, I wish it wasn't so.
Which side would you fall on? Who do you think?
Well, right? I have friends on both sides. I've made more money with the Muslim side, Kuwaiti. I was a fair-haired boy for 9.5 years.
But as far as right and wrong goes.
Oh, I mean, how can you a lot of the people that read the Quran, which I have read, I don't see rape, killing, doing all that bad stuff. I've never read any of that. But there is an interpretation of the Quran of the strict right wing that says you can do whatever the fuck you want, basically. Of course, the Catholic Church says an eye for an eye. Both of those can't be right. Or as Gandhi said, then we're all going to be blind. How are we going to see anybody to fight if we take an eye for an eye? And who killed Gandhi? One of his own people.
Now, most people don't know, but you used to produce movies.
Correct.
You would say,
well, at least one, Caligula, which is Netflix. I get residuals, I'm told. So watch it on Netflix.
but again, that is a erotic
Oh,
film.
absolutely.
Back then it was total porn,
Correct.
but now you would call it like erotic or soft. But the people in it, Helen Mirren, Peter O'Toole, frickin' Roddy McDowell or somebody.
They were
like
fucking on the stage.
in the movie.
And I saw it with these eyes.
Were they actually doing it? Or
Yeah,
just
no,
acting?
they weren't faking it. Helen Mirren has said on YouTube, I like sex. And she's 79. She's a year younger than I am.
So if you watch that movie that's on Netflix right now, Caligula,
Correct.
number one, Dan Pena was
Executive producer.
Executive producer. Most people don't know that. I didn't know that. And they were actually fucking in those
Correct.
scenes.
Blowjobs, for real.
Does it show it?
Yep.
It will on
I haven't
Netflix?
seen the cut, so I don't know what's currently on there. But in the B-roll, now you look like a B-roll movie motherfucker to me.
Oh,
Yes, you do. B-roll. Now that you know what that means, when you said B-roll today twice.
yeah. Well, now it's not considered B-roll like back in the
Well,
day.
how do you know?
Well, because
What do you know what these guys do with your filming when you're not around?
Well, I don't.
What has that couch been used for?
Nothing.
No? Are you sure?
Sure.
Yeah, well,
Sitting.
I bet you if I took the DNA stains,
I'm an angel.
Yeah, fuck. Okay, fine.
I'm an
That's
angel.
why you're so poor.
Do you think? Yeah, I was going to say. Do you think that hurts people with their ethics and their morals? Do you think you can be ethical
you
and
can be
moral
ethical.
and still get
You can be moral.
fabulously wealthy?
But, no, ethics and morals swing in the wind. There's ethics that are in Amarillo, Texas, and the ethics that are in Cleveland, Ohio are different. I always tell you, go where there's a rule of law, and that eliminates about 2/3 of the world. I mean, real law, okay? Singapore is an exception in Asia, and then it's got to be ethical, moral, and rule of law. Well, ethics and morality swing in the wind.
Meaning it's an opinion.
Yeah, that's opinion. But look at the judges, even the judges that Trump appointed. A couple of them have voted against him.
Yeah.
He's going to get even.
But a lot of people think in order to get truly wealthy, like a lot of money, you got to be a dirtbag. You got to be ruthless. You got to be freaking unethical.
One of the big guys who's still on the street today, about 40 years ago, told me, if you had been in the computer business, Dan, you would have been the first trillionaire on the planet. When I took $800 and I turned it into $500 million, back my original claim to fame, okay? And I thought it was easy. I still do think it's easy. And it's what I teach the kids. You interviewed, Jailbird, and nothing against him, but he's far cry from Einstein. He's about at your intellectual level. That's why I told him he should go. He's got more tattoos than you.
Well, you're the only reason I let him go.
I know, and I appreciate that. I'm very appreciative of that. Okay, I have 40,000 that would like to be on your show.
Yeah.
Have I sent anybody else? No,
No, why him?
because he shows just how drastic you can be in the shits and still make a lot of money.
Yeah, he definitely came from the shits.
No question.
And he gave you all props. He did say he kind of tweaked it since he left, and he's tweaked it himself.
And he hasn't made as much money. The first money he made, that first $2.5 million, he followed the line like scripture. Because he was at my 80th birthday a few weeks ago. I was surprised that they let him out of the country with his passport, and it was the same trip as all you.
Wasn't he from Ireland or something?
No, Australia.
Australia.
Why
don't you create this course like online so more people can go?
No, because one, I'm selfish. I want to get credit for it. All my material is free on my website, every single bit of it. The only thing that's not free on my website are the scripts that we teach you how to close. We teach you how to make a sales presentation. I met a young kid yesterday from the Philippines. He's working in a casino now, saving money. And he said, I know we're not supposed to do this. Would you listen to my role play for a couple of minutes? He got about 20, 30 seconds into one of our scripts. I don't know how he got it. But if you look hard enough on the black web, I don't know how to do the black web. My scripts are on the black web. Everything, 100% of my seminars on the black web. 98% is on my website. And he starts into doing a role play. Stop. If this is how you're selling these guys or pretending to sell them, you're going to die before you do anything. Correct. And I said, but I'm not here to bullshit you, kid. You know, it's one thing in playing blackjack at Caesars, you know, and taking their money, hit and, you know, push. But you don't have the intestinal fortitude. And I said, you got to dump your fiance. You got to stop talking to your mother who's dying of cancer. I mean, you spread so thin. I'm surprised you could dress yourself this morning. And but I tell them the truth, unvarnished, no matter who you are.
Why do you think so many people are poor when it's so easy to make money?
They have either no role models or poor role models. Kids don't do what you tell them to do. They do what they see their parents do. And there is some justification. One parent raising, whether it's a mom or a dad, the kids is you're starting with one leg and one hand tied behind you. We had a minister, Baptist minister from Oklahoma, come to the seminar about 7-8 years ago. And he was a guitar playing minister. And he said, because at the beginning you say, why are you here? What led you to Dan, blah, blah, blah. And he said, I was picking up my kid from school a couple of years ago. And my kid said, why does Johnny and Billy and Sally all live in bigger houses than we do, Daddy? And before the minister father could answer, the kid said, I guess God doesn't pay that well. He slammed on the brakes, pulled over to the side, and he had an epiphany. Life-changing experience. He went back, saved money, 2 years, 2.5 years. His wife left him, took the kids away from him. He came to the seminar. Now he's a big real estate mogul in Mississippi, buying and selling buildings and shit. And his kid said, I guess God doesn't pay that well. Sometimes the epiphany comes from being shocked. And the shocks are always ugly things, you know. Keeping kids on the rails, in other words, after they make a bunch of money, all of a sudden they think they're better looking now because women are more attracted to not them, but money. Bellagio's penthouse was bought 7-8 years ago by a teenager, one of my mentees, Josh Kim. Paid $12 million cash for it. 17. And the girls used to line up, or the service elevator to his penthouse. And
hoping to get picked.
Correct. And he brought his fiancee to the castle, proposed to her, had been in Bible study class with her since they're 5 or 6 or 7 years old. And with the mother sitting there, Josh sitting there, the fiance sitting here, and my wife sitting there, I said, this marriage is a bad idea. It's never going to work. He's going to whore around on you in 60 days. They still got married. He rented the entire 4-season fucking hotel in Waikiki. The only white people there were my wife and I. It was dry. It had no alcohol. And they were divorced in 6 months.
You called it.
Well, I call it all the time.
What did you see?
Well, I mean, just because you've been holding hands since you're 5 years old doesn't mean a motherfucking thing.
So what is true love then?
I don't know.
You and your wife been together forever.
We've got as close to it, but we don't talk in those terms. We think when we watch gushy things on TV, and I turn to her and I say, every night we end about 10:30, 11:15, she comes to my office, pours me a glass of red wine. She has a glass of white wine, and we watch some horseshit TV until the 12 o'clock news comes on. Then we watch the 12 o'clock news, and then she goes to bed. I stay up and work because my business assets are all over the fucking place. So I'm up at 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. And I turned to Sally and I said, was your childhood like that, honey? You know it wasn't. I mean, We didn't do that. When we got married, one of our 7 times we've been married was at the Bellagio. And I said, when we got married, of course, we've been married to the North Pole, South Pole, and all these places. It's a fantasy. This is not fantasy land. The land I'm in is Joan of Arc 14 killing the French. Every day every day, as Elon Musk says, I'm brutal. I'm out there to kill them. If you knew Steve Jobs like I did, because I worked with him many years ago, everybody says he changed the world. No, you can't find anybody that doesn't say Steve Jobs didn't change the world. I saw him try to throw people out windows. I thought, the old computers in the old days, I saw him drop computers out windows on the area they used to go down and smoke in. They want the wealth. They want the fame, some of you do, but you don't want to make the fucking sacrifices. He was a miserable human being. Miserable.
Do you think that's worth it?
To me, it is. To most people, it's not.
So you'd rather be rich and miserable?
No. I happen to like being rich. I've been rich and I've been poor, and my wife and I both know God's. If I do this thing for the Catholic Church, and I am going to be successful, and for some reason I got to cut a deal with the devil, I'd cut a deal tonight, just right now. I'm ready. Okay, I'll do anything to succeed. Anything.
There's no joke in there?
No.
So you would make a deal with the devil and trade your eternal life for just a little more riches?
No. To help the Catholic Church.
Oh, to help the Catholic Church.
But when I tell you, like, somebody, I'm going to fuck you up, I ain't bullshitting. And if I'm not tough enough, man enough, I know people that can fuck you up. I mean, I play hardball, and everybody knows it. Costa Gazos at Onassis, the Vatican chairman bank, Manchinkas back in the day. If you're not afraid of Pena, you're crazy.
Aren't you afraid of legal consequences?
I have had them. I got a battery of lawyers that can fill all your offices. I fought the mafia. Jesus Christ. They tried to kidnap my kids. We had firefights, gun battles. Genovese family. I wore a wire. This is all public record.
Well, how are you involved with them?
A salesman like you sold them a deal, a $2 million deal for $5 million. So there was $3 million of VIG on top, vigorous, and oil went from $41 a barrel to $6 a barrel. And Dario Ciotti comes into my office, just like in a movie, like John Gotti. I want my fucking money back. I says, and we had just gone public. I said, I can't do that. I mean, it's gone. Nobody lost more money than me. I own 60% of the company. So I lost 350, 400 million bucks. You lost a paltry fucking 5 million. You didn't know what poultry meant. He thought I was talking about pigs or some shit. And a long fight ensued. And it's the first time that a New York crime family sued anybody over anything. Sued me for fraud. Lost, but.
Because normally they just take you out.
The night before trial, I showed up in his restaurant, still in New Jersey, called Dario's. My lawyers didn't want to go, but my bodyguards came, and it was a fucking fiasco.
When do you decide to bring bodyguards?
Did you look outside your building?
Mm-mm. Are there bodyguards?
I like seeing all these muscle guys around here. It makes me feel more secure. The guy that I met the last time, that was just leaving the building with muscles. And then finally, you came up with a name. He was shorter than this guy.
I forget.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I could tell you what Freud said about people that need the muscles.
What? I
have not one 6-pack on my Hall of Fame. Not one 6-pack. In other words, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. What?
I mean, and I used to take steroids. I used to weigh 287 pounds. I was a power lifter. I went through that phase. But my wife used to have 6 bodyguards. 6.
Used to?
Yeah, she doesn't now.
Why so?
Well, in Scotland, because the estate, when you ever get there, it's secured like the Pentagon.
But you walk around like casinos without bodyguards, don't you?
Yeah. Well,
Do you ever get?
it appears that I don't have any bodyguards. Yeah.
Do you ever have anybody come up and talk to you any shit?
I mean, when I was at Caesar's Palace a couple years ago, they came, security, said, Mr. Pena, are you Dan Pena? Yeah. You're a registered gambler in this state, and you didn't register. I am a registered gambler in this state, and you did not register, Mr. Pena. I know, I'm sure it was an oversight. Would you just come with us? I went back there, and I did the papers like you're supposed to. But I used to gamble in the behind casino, not where all the mooches gamble, the behind the scenes. I used to be a big hitter. Don't do that anymore. But
last time you were here, you said your position's mostly in cash. Are you still believing?
I'm 99% cash.
With even inflation, doesn't matter.
Only poor people worry about inflation. I told you that too.
I still don't get my mind around that.
Well, that's where you are.
Only. I'm listening.
I know these guys think he's a great guy, but
I'm listening though. See, every time you come, I get a little bit brighter. But to me,
well, you met the criminal guy.
Yeah.
And just think about that. To the extent that you can think about it. 2.4 million. He spent 25 fucking minutes watching parts of 5 videos. Now, either he's a genius computer and he was able to connect the dots, which is possible, in 25 minutes. But 99% of the people that have made the hundreds of millions, I've never met.
But let's go back to the cash thing for a minute, because in my mind, correct my thinking. Let's say I got $10 million sitting in the bank and it's deteriorating if I just leave it there. Now, if I took that 10 million and I put it into some place making money,
Okay, first of all, we have to depend on your investment thesis. How are you going to invest that money?
I'd go to the castle and buy businesses.
Okay, well, no, let's just wait. You hear that now, but you haven't done it yet. Okay, you would either take that money and assuming that you didn't, forget inflation. It's like Bunker Hunt told me. He told me 2 great things. Number one, if you're worried about paying taxes, Danny, you're not making enough money. The people that complain about not being able to get on the property ladder now. My dad couldn't get on the property ladder. He got 2 extra jobs. You can get on the fucking property ladder.
The fuck is a property ladder?
Have enough down payment to buy a house.
Okay.
All you got to do is make more money. Then all of a sudden you qualify for the loans. Because instead of making 50, now you're making 350 or 250 or 175 because of the additional income. Why don't kids do that?
Well, there's got no role models.
Well, that's exactly right. And if they have role models, they're piss poor.
And that's usually their parents. Because when people ask me why
you're
is
the
everyone...
average of the 5 people you spend most time with. The guy that you interviewed here, you probably didn't ask him this question, and he tells you the 5 that he spent, the last 4.5 years in prison with, It's like asking, do you have daughters?
Yeah.
Okay. When I go to school and at Oxford and these various places, how many of you guys want to have kids? Almost all say yes. Do you want your kids to be like you? They all laugh. I've been doing this 19 years. Nobody's ever raised their hand that they want their kids to be like them. Then second part of the joke. Would you like your kids to be like your parents? They roar. Of course not, Mr. Pena. They're losers. They're not loser enough to not put you here at Penn, University of Pennsylvania. They're not loser enough to not put you at Oxford. But they feel entitled. My daughter says, she just turned 39, I decided to have rich parents. I don't care about the others. And that's the attitude. You go to the best schools, and all my kids went to the best schools. And then you go a second time to graduate school, the best schools. Well, they don't give a fuck. Other than the Palestinians when they riot on campus and stuff, they don't give a fuck what happens. They're worried about getting good enough grades to get interviews with the big companies to get a job so they can have, as I was told in New Zealand years ago, I want to make, and this is 25, 30 years, I want to make $100,000 a year. I want to have 2 Beamers, BMWs, and I want to have a boathouse, meaning they have a boat on a lake. That's it. Humanity can go down the fucking toilet. That's a direct quote. He was the president of his class. And it's no different now.
Which is limited ambition.
None. They're already rich.
They think that's Everything.
Yep. My neighbors, the lifestyle of my neighbors, remembering my house got built 1468, okay? And they consider you an interloper if you've only been there a couple hundred years. I've only been there 40 years. And you go off and get the best grades you can. And either you go to Oxford or Cambridge, or you go to the University of Edinburgh. You get a degree, and you go into the city, meaning the financial district of London. And then you work there 4 or 5 years. Then you go to the Black Watch. It's the Scottish Army. And you retire after 10, 12 years, and you come home and drink yourself to death. That's the life cycle of all of them.
How many of those have you saved?
Countless.
See, because they're local. It's easy to go.
Well,
when
the
you're-
Carlines, which just sold their business to the second or third largest Japanese company. I don't know the exact number, but they've been to the seminars. The kid's been to the seminars since they're 8. The kid is 17, 18. He's rolling up sports bars, and they sold out for several hundred million. And they're from 20 miles from where I live in Dundee. And they have offices now in Dubai, Dundee, Atlanta, Houston, New York, Chicago, and one other. I can't remember where the other one is now. And they came to me. They had revenue. They were buying and selling houses. And when they sold out last year to the Japanese company, they were the largest landowner in Scotland. The largest landowner in Scotland. And they had 4 employees when they joined me, had revenue of about £800,000. And this is old information, 2-3 years ago, they had 3,100 employees and revenue of several hundred million. And they failed 3 times. I was their first chairman, and it didn't work out. I got busy, and they wanted to be in oil and gas in the North Sea, and so I left. And they got another guy and a gal, and they cold call business to business. They chase businesses that are not on the market. And our first offer is embarrassingly low. Let's just say your business is worth $100 million. Let's just say it's a number a fig Newton up your ass. It's $100 million. Okay, I'll give you $2 million cash today. You throw me out, right? If it's
certainly.
Well, from my lips to God's ears, it's worth $100 million. We both know it's not, but anyway, okay.
I would argue that it is.
God bless you. That's good. I'll add you to my prayer list of 78 million people that I pray for every night, you know?
Please do.
Okay. But I'll give you 105 million.
Sold.
Okay. Okay. 105 million. Okay. 100% seller finance. You know what that means?
Yes.
I'm using your money to buy your own business.
Yeah, that's the part I don't get why people accept that, but they do.
They all do.
They do. They do. It's the fucking weirdest thing.
Correct.
Someone tried to buy this once that way. I don't know if it was one of your fucking students.
Probably was.
It was maybe 10 years ago.
No.
They offered me $44 million based on my EBITDA, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, fucking geez, man, this is a good stepping stone. Shit, I wanted to get to $1 billion, but fuck, maybe I could take that money and keep rolling.
Maybe.
So I'm like, okay, let's talk. And then they went through all my shit and all my books and all everything. And then when they finally came down, it was they wanted me to basically sign some documents. And then within 1 year, they'd give me $5 million. Well, that would have came from my own fucking company, you cock smokers. And then dude, it was like, I was going to say, take my business and just pay me out from it. And I'm like, dude, why would I do that? But
everybody does it.
There's people.
Absence of evidence. I told you this last time I was privileged of being here. Absence of evidence is not evidence of absence.
Yeah.
Just because you don't understand it doesn't mean everybody's not doing it.
And people will do it. How many businesses have you bought that way?
As we speak.
When you teach these students, are they like calling you or fucking going, God damn, they said yes? Because what people don't understand about that, and correct me if I'm wrong, is a lot of times people don't want their business anymore. They've already socked away their money. They've been making that cash flow for 20 years. They want to retire. Their kids don't want it. And it's a perfectly good cash flow.
We're their succession plan.
Yeah.
My business went up 25% when Succession came out on the TV shows. Brian Cox's Succession, who lives right near me, by the way. Your kids are worthless. Your grandkids don't want it. and you went out. You're 65, 70 years old. You've been doing it 30, 35 years. You went out. We did a deal with I didn't do it, a 97-year-old Canadian guy. He owned 82 jillion trailer parks. 97, he'd been doing it 50, 60 years. Our guys, and he only wanted like 25 million. The kids gave him 32 million with a 20-year note. He's 97. Okay, he accepted it. His lawyer told him not to do it. I'm doing it. 3 years later, we were back in court, and the judge made us unravel the transaction because we took advantage of a 97-year-old guy. And the guy sitting there, they didn't take any advantage of me. I want to do that. And the judge said, you don't know what you're saying. We're undoing the transaction. But he wanted to do that. He wanted a plan so there would be something left at 20 years that his kids, which are all brain dead, and his grandkids, which were all brain dead. So he had a plan. He knew what he was doing. He died 103, 104.
Because people die, businesses don't.
Correct. Oh, well, that's not quite true. The businesses shouldn't, but they do because under mismanagement. Just because you sell me your business and we tie part of the purchase price, it's like an earnout. If in the 5th or 6th or 7th, in his case, in the 19th year, if it's not making the money, the best case scenario for you is you get the business back after it's paying you all that money. The worst case scenario is you get the business back that you don't want.
What happens if we made a deal like that and you don't pay?
But then the deal falls apart, you get the business back.
That's it?
Yeah.
Now, I assume, by the way, you have all the templates and shit to sign people up.
Everything. And in fact, Dan Locke, who's a mentee of mine, very successful, and a guy named Bruce Whipple, who's another mentee of mine.
The Chinese-looking guy?
A little Chinese guy. I've known him since he was short, fat with pimples. The only difference is now he's not fat, and he doesn't have pimples. But I've known him 25 years. And Bruce Whipple, they came to the seminar 5, 6 years ago as the second or third or fourth time. And Dan Locke is talking to students graduation night. The only thing Dan doesn't do is make the fucking deal for you. And everybody in this room would give him 95% of the deal just to do a deal for you. And almost everybody in the room said yes.
Do people come to your event and then go teach it themselves?
Yeah. I have 100 mini-me's out there. I don't endorse any of them. There's at least 100 mini-me's.
And they're basically teaching what you taught them?
Yeah. But most of them came to the seminar in the 90s and the early 2000s. So the seminar is best of best practices. When the wall came down in your youth, and Russia disappeared. This is old information. 5 of the 8 oligarchs that Putin has came to my seminar. 5 of the 8. And then they've spawned 20 or 30. Whenever there's a big economic upheaval, they come and and now since Corona, we have to get their passports and all that. But before Corona, you pay cash. Tell me, I ask you no questions. You tell me no lies. But now it's much more detail oriented. For the first 7 years that I gave a seminar, I kept no records because I thought from 1993 to 2000, I've had it. I would quit at 2000. I didn't know I'd still be doing it 25 years after that. So now we have copious records, or we have data, as it's called, and we know. The average age of somebody that goes through the seminar is 35 years and 8 months. And that's from 77 years on the top end and 13 years on the bottom end. The 13, 14, and 15, and 16-year-olds have to come with a parent or an older brother or an older cousin or somebody. We don't allow them to attend themselves. But in the San Fernando Valley right now, I went to a board meeting when I was there. We were with our new accountants, Big Four accounting firm. And we fired the old Big Four accounting firm because of lack of attention. And so the accountants, my shoes were older than all the team put together, were asking questions. And I said, Anthony, how many current prospects do we have in the San Fernando Valley alone? 4,108, sir. Could you repeat that number, please, Anthony? 4,108 potential sellers in the San Fernando motherfucking Valley alone. That's not Los Angeles County, is it, Anthony? No, sir. Then we got 8,200 million, whatever the number is. but it's down to, it's a numbers game. It's a numbers game. I told some famous gal, TV personality in recent days that her what do you call it's going to be on TV in the next few months, and she says it's really just a numbers game, cold calling. I've been saying this for 30 plus years. How many people like to cold call? Nobody.
So out of the 4,108 deals in San Fernando Valley, approximately in your experience, how many of them are actually deals?
Potential deals, all of them. That's not including the whole market.
I know, but like when you approach me and you're like, hey, I'll give you 105 million. And I'm going, oh, okay. And then you say, but 100%. And I say, pass. You just say, fuck you, or do you come up with any money?
I'm hanging up the phone before you tell me no.
What if it's like a good goddamn business?
I don't care.
So
there's always a prettier girl that'll suck the comb off a trailer hitch around the corner.
So what you're saying is ultimately you'll just move on to the next one because someone's going to take it. And the idea is to buy that cash flowing business. And then how long do you usually have?
If cash flow doesn't cover, free cash flow doesn't cover debt service, at least 1.5 times, I like to, next, I'm not interested. And I've gone through thousands of transactions.
But you had to have bought one that went south somehow.
Oh, I've had,
how do they go south?
like because you, let's say you're going to stay 6 months to teach me the business. In 6 hours, I realize you're worthless as tits on a board. I throw you out. Okay, and maybe I shouldn't have thrown you out. I'm early. The only thing I'm early ejaculation, other than fucking, is I'm operating on one strike, not 2, 3. No, if I don't like the way you fucking put your tie on that morning, you're out the fucking door. I'll see you in court, asshole. And, and the businesses go from a muscle t-shirt like you run, you're wearing a fucking suit and a tie, and you're combing your hair different. If you don't like it, get the fuck out.
Hey, if you bought this place and then I had to work here, you'd say put on a suit.
I don't buy muscle t-shirt businesses. I think it's a joke.
That's what people wear today.
Not when I own you.
So it's suit and tie. I'm only wearing one if I get married or buried.
Okay.
Married or buried.
Well, I can arrange that too. So.
I'm more comfortable like
Fine,
this.
that's God bless you.
I'm more comfortable. Now, again, if I were coming somewhere that says formal, well, then I put fucking one on. Obviously, I go, when in Rome, but like here, I'm the fucking emperor.
Fine, that's great.
I can wear whatever.
Okay, that's why you're never going to get $105 million for this business.
Would you like, well, I'll wager that with you.
Well, since I'm going to be pissing on your grave, I mean, it's not like who are you going to have collect for you?
I'll collect it. Okay. I'll exit this business within 3 to 5 years for probably $250 or more.
You. God bless you.
Now the question is what are the terms? Because a lot of people hear about these
price, I name the terms.
Well, a lot of people hear about these big exits and everyone's impressed when in reality, fucking you sold your business for $250, but you got $10 million down, and you get earned out, and it may never happen, and yada yada yada. So, is there ever a time where people literally cash you out? Yeah.
But when we sell, we bundle up like I'm part of an exit. The first acquisition was made in December 2019, and we're exiting the business December this year. So there's 6 years. My program is built, if you do everything correct, which you wouldn't be part of that group, 30 months. My deal is you make an acquisition a month. If you can't make 30 acquisitions in 30 months, you're brain dead. You're brain dead. You lose focus, something happens, whatever, okay? And but the average is for the last, including Corona, about a little less than 6 years from the time you start, you build a board, get a chairman, blah, 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 till you exit. And we're either exiting to private equity or a strategic partner. One of the big companies that buys healthcare is not Carnation. It starts with a C. Anyway, and we have track record. The largest healthcare company in the world, Columbia, was my deal. The largest healthcare deal in Europe, Forces, was my deal. Neom, the biggest city of the future, 3-4 trillion, it's my deal. And I go on and on and on. And you tell me for all the reasons you wouldn't do it, I can find 1 million people that'll do it instead of you.
Do you think when it boils down to it, it's somebody's afraid to make fucking phone calls? That's why they're not rich?
No, it transcends that. They're afraid to get out of their comfort zone, not just phone calls. You have 2 times to make a first impression. When I look at you, you're already flunked. And when you open your fucking mouth.
Now, what if I was all pimped out with the fucking pocket square?
Pimped out. No, like a lot of people say.
Cuff links, the whole bit. What if I was just fucking dapper as a
No, you got to open your mouth.
That's the second
Most
one?
of the pod fuckers can't talk. And you dropping bomb and you know that.
But I can.
Well, you talk to a certain level of Homo sapien.
Yes.
I talk to from the Pope down.
I'd love
5 presidents.
I'd love to be a fly on the wall.
Well,
how does it change?
I didn't say fuck once when I met Maggie Thatcher. Not once. I did say fuck twice when I was in the Vatican because it's part of my vocabulary.
What do they do?
Well, no, they do a sign of the cross. Normally, there's a nun in the room, a senior nun, a mother superior, doing a sign of the cross the whole time I'm in the meeting. That's God forgive him. He doesn't know what he's doing. Every single minute of the meeting.
Have you ever asked the leaders of the Catholic Church, why do we keep allowing these priests to be doing what they do?
Well, because it's been happening 2,000 years. You know, the only reason the priests are celibate, they're not supposed to have sex, because in the year 856 or 888, something like that, the then treasurer of the Catholic Church noticed there was a huge decrease in the last 30 years because priests were having kids, getting married, and they were leaving their estates to their family, not their church. So all of a sudden, the Pope woke up, who was at that time in Paris, woke up and say, effective January 1, we're going to have celibacy and all the estates are coming back to the church. And that's when the biggest growth in the coffers, the money in the Catholic Church ever existed, from about 900 to the early part of, not this century, the last century. But they're in trouble.
Where do you learn this stuff? Just reading?
I've got an almost photographic memory, not complete, 95%, and I'm super smart. Now, I told you I tried to kill my teacher when I'm 10, 11 years old in grammar school. And the church knows that. I come to class, they put a dunce cap on me. This is from kindergarten till about the 7th grade. They put a dunce cap on me, and I'd stand in a corner. If I moved or asked something, they put me in a closet. Every day, no exceptions. I remember shitting my pants in the closet because they wouldn't let me go to the bathroom. And my dad was a high-profile cop. Squad cars used to come and pick me up to take me home. The teachers were afraid of me. I tried to kill one. I mean, they used to call me a hellion. I don't know what that means, but it's kind of like you didn't know what Caligula meant. I was terror on wheels. I was in the principal's office at least twice a day before lunch. And I was in grammar school and junior high school, I was the biggest kid. But then I stopped growing and everybody else caught up with me. But I was in 2-3 fights a day. And the little weasels, before they got muscles and muscle shirts, used to come hide behind me for me to protect them against the real bullies in class.
Do you ever wear sweats?
Yeah, when I'm in the gym. The gym is about, I have 3 gyms. But anyway, the closest gym is about 50 feet down the hall from me, my office.
Other than that, you go back to a suit.
Yeah. Or a vest. I got sloppy during Corona because you could only see in Zoom calls, you know.
So it's an impression thing, is what you're saying.
Yeah. You only need to have 2 times to make a first impression. I've met 5 presidents. The most presidential was Nixon. I was his bodyguard as a young Army officer. The next was Bush 2. The next was John Kennedy. The next was Trump, and the next was Clinton. I mean, in presidential, acting presidential.
Who do you think's really running the country? Because it ain't them.
Well, some of those presidents, they never had anything to do with running the country. Most of the people want the power, the prestige, and it's the money they make after they're president. Now, how Schumer, his net worth has gone up 120 million since he's been in the Senate the last 10 years is a miracle. How Joe Biden supposedly has made 150 million in the last 2 years since he's president, that's not possible.
It's scam.
Correct.
So that's my question. Like, how do you
illegally?
Yeah. So so who's really running it? Because like they're just above the law, it seems.
Well, I mean, there's the guy that negotiated the peace between Gaza and the Israelis is a super smart developer, best buddy of Trump, golfing buddy of Trump, and his son-in-law, who's apparently really super smart. I've never met either of those guys, but Trump is super smart. Anybody that knows anything about politics in the Middle East knew that the Palestinians were never going to give up their guns. That was just a hand job. And now they're not giving up their guns. And now Trump can just tell the Israeli Defense Force, level it. Kill every motherfucker swinging dick there. That's what they want to do anyway.
Have you read about this 31AC or whatever the fuck floating object is coming towards Earth?
Oh, a meteor?
That's what they say.
Yeah.
But you see this telescopes, it's not a meteor, apparently.
Well, I don't know about that part.
Ship.
But there's been a meteor for 50 years. The probability has gone from 0.5% to now 7 or 8% that it's going to hit the Earth. And it's not going to be a life-ending meteor, but it's going to wipe up a third of it's going to hit right in Manhattan.
So why do you think the world's going to be over soon?
Well, as Elon Musk and Bill Gates said, we need 3 billion less people. And they really don't give a fuck how we get 3 billion. If we have 3 billion less people, we don't have all these crises that we have right now. You know.
I thought that was Gates too.
Well, Gates owns 40% of all the patents on that will cure the next COVID. He owns 40% of them. Now, why do people blame him for that?
Well, it's not that he's owning the cure. It's that they suspect he's causing the disease.
Well, that's tough to prove. Well, I don't know.
Well, that's the thing. When it comes to those elite that the conspiracy theorists talk about, that's where I go back to just enjoy your fucking day because you can't do shit about it. When there's global elite that have billions and billions and billions that they can buy off governors and judges and presidents, like there's people in control of this world and I'm not in it. And again, unless you know those people and you're one of those.
And I do.
Well, then you might be in it. But I've never been to a meeting where they're like, all right, we're going to whack off fucking a third of the population so we have air in 100 years.
They don't talk like that. They everything's theoretical. And they put up their PowerPoint presentation and some little skinny shit or 2 or 3 little skinny shits from Stanford, Caltech, and MIT and Oxford. This is what could happen if this happened and this happened. Then somebody in the back of the room will raise their hand and what are the probabilities of all these things happening at once? And not self-induced. In other words, not caused. They say 0%. And what it's helped along a little. They put it nicer than that. Oh, we can make it happen 1 out of 3 times. Everybody got chuckles but I'd rather be part of that group. That's why I call everybody a meathead. But the thing, and you can never remember, absence of evidence is not evidence of absence. If we talk about some of the things right now, some of your listeners, they're just going to say it's horseshit. And they haven't been in the rooms. They haven't listened. There's a whole undercurrent, I don't want to call it black web, of podcasts of these guys. Talking just like you and I are talking about stuff that really matters and affects the world. The next big shortage is going to be water. The big guys have been buying up water rights since the Korean War. There's a reason why Richard Branson, Bill Gates, and a few others own 40% of all the mineral rights in the United States. Not the mineral, they want the water rights. Because soon, a cup of water like this is going to be more than a gallon of gas. Everybody knows this.
But when you say soon, how soon? 10 years?
No, 25 to 100.
But these people don't live that long. So why are they living so far out in the time span?
That's why some of the guys, not myself, they have already paid their money to be frozen and come back. Howard Hughes was the first guy. Come back when times are better. There's a bunch of people. Costs you $200,000-300,000.
Would you ever do that?
No.
You don't want to come back.
But Sally and I last year, we're going to pay $20 million to go to the Ruskies and go up a space station. A half an hour training, that's what you need. They just went to $40 million.
Are you going to do it?
Sally didn't want to go.
Why don't you?
No, I'm going to go with her. I've already written my epitaph.
Well, I want
my epitaph is he died on re-entry from his 3-year trip to Mars on his 133rd birthday. And he was immediately canonized by the Catholic Church. Saint Daniel.
Yeah.
You know, you're supposed to, even now, His Excellency. So I have more titles than you got gray hair in your beard, but I don't use them. But next time I come on your show, you can call me Your Excellency.
Okay.
And have these guys, I'm going to wear my ring, my big ring. These meatheads, you got to kiss my big ring. That's the same as kissing your ass.
Would they need to put on a suit first?
Yeah.
No muscle shirts.
No muscle shirts.
So if you seriously walked into a business like that didn't require any dress code, you install one.
Well, I wouldn't even be in the meeting.
But do you ever feel like maybe your ways are old? Like these are.
Well, I know they're old.
Yeah,
but that's why they work.
Yeah, but shit changes.
Yeah, I understand that. God bless. Well, then
so
you change along. You stay in the wagon, covered wagons, and you stay around trying to invent the wheel. You stay around and do all that. And I'm going to have an AI cut all your heads off and replace you with a little. We have 4 robots at the castle. In 2 years, we're going to have 15 robots.
What do the robots do?
Make coffee, serve you a drink, cut the lawns. They don't take time off. They don't sleep.
What's powering them? AI?
Correct.
I mean, are they like current robots?
Correct, yeah. And they're named Gordon 1, 2, 3, even 4. All the same name.
Do you have them wearing suits?
No, I mean, they're little boxes and shit. And they look, like in the movies. They look funny.
If someone said, hey, Dan, do me a favor.
I'd say no right away.
Let's pretend this guy was like a good dude. He said, listen, I want you to give advice to the young people. If they could get any advice, what would the best advice be for the youngsters listening right now to get successful
20 years old
in 2020?
And they have no money. I'd rather have no money.
Yeah. No money, young.
If you're in college, unless you're the last year law school, the last year med school, stop school. If you're in the last year, it looks all right to have those initials after your name. That's number 1. Focus your energies on healthcare, or what we used to call the internet, but now it's AI. Cybersecurity is the hottest industry. It makes whatever kind of margins you make here, you wouldn't get out of bed to make these margins.
So quit school, focus on healthcare and basically AI / cybersecurity.
The first deal you do in QLA, you're a short million. One deal, you're a short millionaire with no money in it. The second deal you do, you're a multimillionaire. The 5th deal you do, you're worth 6 to 8 million. That's to your account. 2/3. The average since Corona for our program is about 62% you get to keep. The other difference between 62% and 100% is your other board members that you hire. Not hire, that's the wrong word. You engage to be on your bus, to be part of your dream team.
And that's just basically giving them some equity.
2 to 3%. The CEO gets 10 to 15%. Which I wouldn't I wouldn't allow you to be CEO of your deal.
I wouldn't either.
No, okay. And CFO gets 5 to 7%. Your chairman gets 10 to 12, 15%. At the end of the day, you wind up with about 62%.
But that's not necessarily a board. That's a C-suite.
No, 62. No, that's you as an individual, 62%. The rest of the board gets the difference between, call it 60, get the 40. It's not 40, it's in the low 30s normally.
So if I just gave you this place right here and said, let's see you triple it, what would you do?
I didn't think you disliked me that much to try to give me this place.
What would you do with it?
Huh? Well, you have too many employees.
How do you know? You're assuming.
I've been doing this 50 years.
Well, I may.
There's no doubt in my military or civilian mind.
Well,
It's one thing I'd stake my life on.
You may be right because, like, I'm a little too, I would say, A, tolerant, and B, I don't want to say nice and kind.
You know what the derivative of the word nice is?
Stupid.
13th, 14th century Anglo-Saxon, stupid, retarded.
Yeah.
And look at how it's come in 500 years.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's just like
Did you want to date nice girls when you were dating?
I'm just not as ruthless as you seem to be. Like I care about, helping other people.
Oh, well, that's great. I still remember firing 240 people. I'm still in graduate school in sales. One person, me, was outselling the whole division, Southern Division of California. Me. And so the big boss, the head thief, says, Danny, you want to go down, make some extra money and take over sales for Southern California? Sure. And I've never said no. In the Army and the thing, you always say, don't volunteer. I volunteer for everything. Okay. In business, I could do it. If I never learned how to code, but I could learn how to code in 5 hours, maybe 5 minutes, because I'm smart. So I go down to Southern California. I had a sales meeting at 5:30 Friday afternoon. It was a 3-day weekend. And I said, the good news is we got a new sales manager. The bad news, it's me, kids. I stood up on a table like this. And I said, if your office isn't cleared out by 7, you won't get a final paycheck. If it is cleared out by 7, you'll get a final paycheck. So a girl comes up to me in 1971, you didn't breastfeed in public. But sat down in San Diego with hippie shit, and so she's up there and the little shit sucking on her nipple and said, well, what am I going to do for milk? I said, you should have kept your legs closed, sweet pea. So then they all crying and going away. Hey, you fatso, come here. Well, your new name is Pins because your legs look like bowling pins. I need an assistant. You can keep your job. There were no exit interviews. Somebody was stealing. Up to 30, 40% of the cash flow was being diverted. And I didn't have time to go through 241 employees. The next Monday, we're cash flow positive. From Friday till Monday. We got hired for a deal by LaSalle Bank in Chicago to clean up a mess. They went from we're losing $500,000 a month to positive cash flow the third week. Fire everybody. It's easy. But I'll see you in court.
But why you'll see them in court?
Because they're contracts.
You fire them anyway.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck.
Don't you think sometimes if
I made a lot of mistakes. That's why I go to confession.
How do you get the not caring part?
Nobody cares but you, chump. I mean, these pot fuckers.
That may be true.
When Elon Musk fired 95% of Twitter in France, remember?
Yeah.
And they went up in productivity.
Well, he was probably bloated organization too.
Not probably. You go into a hospital, 4, 5, 6, 7 people behind the reception desk, fucking around on their phones. And I said many years ago, if they ever privatize NHS, National Health for the UK, which the Prime Minister just announced a few weeks ago, it will be the greatest clusterfuck transformation of wealth in the history of this planet. 113,000 assets, 112,000 of them being mismanaged. Bank of England came within 100,000 pounds of going bankrupt during Corona. 100,000 pounds of having to close its doors. That's like the Federal Reserve here. Am I the only fucker that reads this shit? Maybe I am.
What do you think about when cash flow gets real fucking low?
I've been negative. I bought more babies meaning companies, back from the dead than Jesus himself.
And they were negative? How do you operate with negativity?
Well, first of all, I'm the greatest salesman after Moses and Jesus that ever existed. I can sell anything to anybody and make you like it, you included. And I tell you up front, I'm going to do it. I'm going to take all your money and you're going to like it. You're going to vote for my canonization when I'm a saint. You're going to get a bus and go around the country and promote my name.
What makes you?
And I mean it.
Where did you learn it?
A lot of hard knocks, but I worked for some of the, I don't want to say crooks because they weren't crooks. Because nobody ever was dishonest with me, you know. But I learned, I had an old sales manager named Kelly Norwood. He was a disbarred lawyer from Tennessee, and he went to Bolt Hall Law School, University of California. And when I came back from Vietnam thing, and I'm going to school, graduate school, waiting. I had a scholarship to go to law school, I never went. And he says, Danny, young boy like you. And he was a racist motherfucker. He meant boy because I'm Mexican, okay? A young boy like you ought to close every cocksucker that walks through that door. That means 100% close. I had a 94.6% closing ratio when I sold. Nobody had 50. I made them cry. I mean, I don't know, no. No's not my vocabulary. Still isn't. Look at how, if you think that I'm aggressive now, you should have seen me when I was 30, 40, 50.
Would people think you were psycho?
They still do. But now I'm a psycho sitting on God only knows how much cash. I've lived in the castle over 40 years.
Do you have any stress at all?
No. I make people have heart attacks. For you to perspire, that's self-induced. Anxiety is self-induced. And I'm not susceptible to that. I do not suffer from sympathy or empathy. Those are diseases to me.
Did you when you had no money?
Yeah, I was, but worse, because perception is reality. Now, the kids say, fake it till you make it. I don't like that. But perception is reality. I used to roll up, my first Rolls Royce I had when I'm 24. I'm still driving Rolls Royces. I'm a 3 Rolls Royce family, and I'm 80, okay? I used to roll to a sales call. All the other salesmen were driving Cadillac Eldorados and Continental Tonka's. This is in the early 70s. I drive up in my roller. I remember almost beating the kid to death. I sent it to a 49-cent car wash because I didn't want to wait in the line for the $1.99 car wash. And some poor little Mexican guy broke the antenna off my car. And I jumped on and started pounding his head into the fucking hood. And my girlfriend at the time says, if you weren't trying to save $1, Dan, there'd be, the hand did all the stuff at $1.49. The difference between a 49-cent car wash back 50-some years ago and the $1.49. I used to wear $2,000 suits when you could buy a suit for $80. Now they call me a clothes hog, something like that.
Clothes hog.
I've spent $2 million on clothes. And I've been like this all my life. And I didn't have shit. I couldn't have enough piss to throw it out a window. I mean, I know I used to take a bus across the country for a sales call. Fucking Greyhound bus. And I used to Continental and United used to allow veterans right after the war, Vietnam anyway, fly for like $8 or $12. You could stay at the Sheraton and the Hilton for $6. I used to take the train. I used to sleep up in the front. It wasn't a bullet train. I've slept in airports probably 6 months of my life. Nobody does that. Because you don't want it bad enough. I used to go, there used to be a call called the Academy, it's a restaurant downtown Manhattan. Happy hour started Wednesday afternoon about 3 and went through Sunday night, 2 a.m. They used to have buffets, table this wide or double, 100 feet long. Food, lobster, and I used to go and take food and wrap it in napkins and put it in my pockets, okay? So some girl went to fuck me in the toilet. So I'm in there, and she puts her legs around it and squeezes all the mayonnaise and shit out of my sandwiches all over my fucking suit. I'm paying $16 a night at some flop house. There's no, not carpet cleaner, there's no dry cleaners on Sunday. So I got no way to clean my suit for Monday. But I hitchhike out to the Bronx, out in Harlem. Talk some black clothes cleaner to open up on Sunday for me so I can have a clean suit for Monday. I don't know anybody that's done that.
You just got the shit done against all
If you and I
odds.
were in business and I said, I got it handled, not like in the movies, I got your six and all that horse shit. As long as I'm not dead, I got it done, no matter what.
Do you have any partners?
Yep. I've got 3 or 4 now, both Italian names. One's from New Jersey and one's from Illinois. That remind me of me. One's 28 and one's 33. I mean, I've never asked them to do anything like, hurt anybody, but they're muscle t-shirts without the t-shirts,
They'll get shit done.
no matter what. And yeah, those are hard to find, if not impossible now.
Well, again, lack of leadership.
And they're worried about, I had a guy who was a, 7th degree Don black belt, blah, blah, blah. And, he had hurt somebody when he was younger and he's afraid, his hands are registered and all that shit. But then I wasn't there. I wish he got an altercation in Wisconsin, Wausau, and he knocked the fuck out of 6 or 7 people. And he went to jail. And he said, I haven't felt this good in 25 fucking years. As I put my fist through their fucking skull, Dan, I had an erection. We were in Toronto last Christmas for a board meeting. And a couple of the guys said, it takes too long to wait for a car or Uber. We're going to walk through this alley. So I said, fine. So half the board wouldn't walk through the alley. And so my wife and the board go the other way. So as we approach middle of the alley, no lights, like in the movies, 3 big black guys. Now my partner's black. Okay. And I think, oh, fuck. I got a $25,000 sable top coat. I'm going to get it all fucked up. And so I kind of rush towards him. I say, okay, kids, are we going to fight or dance? And that's just who I am. I wasn't quite 80 then. And the kid said, oh, no, we're stalking you. We just want your autograph. And the other board members slinked like they were cunts that they are.
You have no issues with fighting?
No.
Even at 80?
80.
You crack a motherfucker right in his face.
No, I probably punch him in the Adam's apple first. And then I try to bite their face, take a chunk of their flesh off their nose.
Do you think ever that will change? Or is that until you die?
Till I'm dead.
And if
May
everybody,
kill me someday, but
if everybody adopted that same attitude, how much better
we wouldn't have 8.5 billion people on the planet for starters.
does that take care of it?
And I've been this way. I just, and I wasn't the toughest guy in my group. There was 2, 3 other guys. The guy, his birthday that I went to last night, 80, night before last, 80, the casino guy that from here, he was a bad motherfucker. And he got to fight in the Army. He had a 16-0 record. He didn't get to go to Vietnam or any of that shit because he was tough. And the other guy, a friend of mine, he measured brasiers for nurses while he was in the Army. Allegedly fucked 11,000 for 2.5 years of measuring brasiers and panties for nurses in Fort Sam Houston, Texas. 11,000 impregnated. That's good duty. You got to be in the Army. I didn't have that kind of duty.
So your 3 regrets were you didn't see battle.
Correct. I didn't lead guys in battle. Yeah, big regret of mine.
If you could go back, you'd do
fuck
it.
yes. All the guys in OCS and the Ranger School said, Penya's never going to come back. He thinks he's fucking John Wayne, which is probably true.
What if they asked you right now?
I go today. I'm not afraid. I'm not.
Where do you get the lack of fear from?
My dad.
Do you think it can be learned, Or is it
Well,
you either have it
that's
or
all
you
I
don't?
saw. Dad had a 56-inch chest with a 28-inch waist. He was an all-American gymnast. He never lifted a weight in his life. Volunteered for 2 wars. So I volunteered. Only one war came around was Vietnam. I volunteered. Talked my 2 best buddies into volunteering, which they more or less hate me for. I just 3 or 4 years ago, I used to do a presentation when I was just after I spoke at Wharton, Pennsylvania, and I said a woman, 45 years old, got raped by 3 people. 42 people on the train in Manhattan watched her getting raped by 3, and 16 of them took a picture with her iPhone. Nobody helped her. That's where we are today.
Even the lady that got stabbed in the neck the
Correct.
other day.
I can't relate. I don't know.
Like no one helped. And she just sat there and bled out. She wasn't dead to begin with. Someone could have saved her easily,
Yeah.
but no one did. Any thoughts?
That's why MIT says we're through.
Well, I mean, if you're a Catholic and you
Well,
believe-
now the MIT's not a Catholic.
yeah, but if you are, then you already read the book. You already know.
Yeah, well, I gotta do something.
Good's going to win. Over.
No, the second coming of Christ, good's going to win. And I tell people, and I don't mean to be braggadocious, Archbishop, and all that. I am the second coming. I'm the closest to Christ you're going to see in your fucking lifetime. And not, sorry about the fucking. Because when I tell them I'm going to get it done, and I've already told there's going to be collateral damage. And they want me to define. I said, I can't define it. Then you're a co-conspirator. I don't want you going to jail. And so then a couple of the young priests are, I think he means he's going to fuck some people up. Got that right, Father. And that's what's needed.
Sometimes that is
40% of supposedly the priests in Vatican are still gay. There's nothing wrong with being gay, but if that's all you're recruiting.
But when you say there's nothing wrong with being gay, according to the church, there is.
Oh, of course there is. But I mean, me personally, if you're gay or somebody else is gay, I don't give a shit. You keep that in your privacy of your own bedroom or.
I'm the same way. In fact, there's a couple of my buddies. I think they're a little suspect. They say you're only gay if your balls touch.
That's funny. That's funny. No, my definition is a little stricter than that. That's fucking funny. I got to remember that. It's just, but nobody, in the days, once in a while, you'll see on CNN some young kid, normally a gangbanger, helping an old lady across the street or something like that, They don't show them when they're mugging them and beating them and shit like that. But it's a different world.
What's your thoughts on like the Charlie Kirk assassination?
Oh, that's tragic.
Do you think there's any?
I don't think he would want. I don't know him. I never met him, etc. But I don't think he would want to be a martyr. I mean,
Well, the question is who did it? I mean, people get assassinated all the time. JFK got assassinated. Everyone said, "Oh, it was just Lee Harvey Oswald." Well, now look, 100 years fucking later, however long it was. Now the evidence is coming out. No, it wasn't.
No.
Same thing with Charlie Kirk, except now there's just things that are surrounding the whole thing that make absolutely zero sense. Like, and almost, it's weird. So it's like, I'm always wondering, like, am I the crazy one or does that not make sense? What, do you follow it at all?
Oh, yeah. In fact, my dad was brought out of retirement to head up the investigation of the Robert Kennedy assassination. So he was the head investigator for the Robert Kennedy thing. And they wanted, he was CIA, he was a spook. So the spook came out of retirement to cover up what happened. 8 bullets were fired out of a 6-bullet gun for Robert Kennedy. Okay? But I knew the guys on Knoll, Lee Harvey Oswald, he may have killed that cop, while he was escaping. But it's like the guy that shot Trump. He's either the worst shot in North America, unless that's all he was aiming at. Some theories, I'm a really great shot. I'm world class, but really super shot. That's all he was just sending a message. he never intended to blow Trump's head off. I don't know. But that's almost impossible to hit the fatty part of the ear at 145 yards.
Yeah. So you don't make judgment when it comes to conspiracies, I notice.
No, my dad was part of one. My dad, supposedly, he was in Colombia when Che Guevara got assassinated. He was in Memphis when Martin Luther King got assassinated. My dad was. And they used to call him, he used to teach at Langley, the school, When to Kill. You know how in the movies, it was a clean shoot. Okay. Well, he taught what was a clean shoot and what wasn't. And his nickname was Blow 'em Up. He says, better there's no witnesses. That means you kill everybody. And it's your word against dead people's. That's what my dad taught at Langley. And he was a bad, till he died. He tried to kill his doctor when he was 87 years old. And the dad was from the Japanese. His doctor was Filipino. And when he go hallucinate and have, they used to call him battle fatigue. He just saw a Japanese guy, even though the doctor wasn't Japanese. So I had to fly to Palm Springs, explain to him that, no, Dad, he's not, not Japanese. He was on our side during that war. But you have no idea. At my 80th birthday, the people that knew my dad, everybody was afraid of him. And he carried 2 guns all the time. He was an animal. And to the day my mother died, she wanted to hurt my feelings, which was almost impossible. I have rhino skin. You're a beast just like your father was. That was the most hurtful thing she could say to me. I'm happy as fucking Larry. That means I'm a man. You think I want to fight people who dating? No. Can I take care of myself? Yes. Still, you fucking ain't right, I can. I told somebody 10 years ago, you picked the wrong old man to fuck with. And I hit him with a bar stool. And you don't get up from getting hit by a bar stool, like in the movies. I didn't even stick around to see if he was dead.
Do you have a morning routine or a daily routine that you stick to?
I punch bags that look like podcasters.
Well, you're going to start a podcast. You're about to be a pod fuck.
Because I wanted to do something different in my 80s.
But you're about to be a pod fuck.
Yeah, I'm going to be a pod fucker. I have 11,000 people already signed up to be interviewed.
Well, I mean, you'll have a zillion that probably want to get interviewed. How are you going to select?
Oh, no. Unless I trained them, they're not getting interviewed.
How long are you going to select your questions?
I've already put together a list of about 22 questions. I'll come up with 50. But the same question I would ask you, I wouldn't ask your buddy Grant Cardone. Or I wouldn't ask Lopez. Or I wouldn't ask Tony Robbins. Okay? The guy that's on your show from Australia, I could relate. I've been arrested several times. I could relate to jail. So I asked some of those base questions. But now, when he said he's tweaked my deal now, and now he's not doing the same kind of business. So I saw him recently. Why'd you tweak it? Because you said that we were going to tweak it because the way I teach is too simple. There's only one fucking moving part, and that's a motivated seller. And if that motherfucker's not motivated, don't let the door hit you in your flabby ass on the way out, asshole. I'm not interested in why buts. If they have why or but and any kind of response, go fuck yourself. Leave me alone. So and I know that I've passed up many deals that I could have done, but I make it up in numbers. I passed up having the franchise for Microsoft in Canada. I passed up having the franchise for Nike in Canada.
Still did. Okay.
I passed up WW when the wrestling thing first started. They were selling points, $50,000 a point. I mean, I passed up more. If I don't understand it, I don't do it. But now I am one person removed because I have a mentee that is the micromanager and I'm the macro manager. It's like
you said the two most important things: other people and other people's money.
when Earl Warren, who used to be the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, and they were trying to figure out what pornography was, and he steps down from the steps, and he says, Chief Justice, what did you decide was pornography and what wasn't? He said, I don't know it, but I fucking knows it when I sees it. And that's how I rule. I mean, it either makes sense to me and it passes the smell test. But most of the deals, last year I got brought maybe 2 deals that were worth the shit. And I did both of them.
Out of how many?
4,000 or 5,000.
So that sounds like a needle in a haystack.
It is. But I have the haystack. I don't have to go look for deals.
But I mean, is it really that many? I got to call 4,000 to find
No,
one?
I'm not calling anybody.
But someone is.
No. I get a summary sheet, and there's only 4 numbers on it. And these are from audited numbers normally, not audited by your crack staff, but audited by somebody, that understands general accepted accounting principles, GAAP. And I want to know the top revenue, all in.
Top line.
Revenue, okay? I want to know expenses, total expenses. Your mistress or this, all in, okay? And that's going to give me a gross profit, okay? And the gross profit, if you take 50% of your gross profit, or actually, if you take 50% of your after-tax income and add it back, that's your cash flow. And if I can't if that cash flow is not double the debt service, perceived debt service that we're going to use a commercial bank, I don't use commercial bank, but perceived debt service, because 99 times out of 100, you're going to go to a commercial bank. Or what you're going to say, a friendly bank. There are no friendly banks.
Or the SBA.
Or the SBA, but that's still a bank.
Yeah.
And very few people understand the federal statute says no money down for an SBA loan. None. The fact that they want 5, 10, 15, 20% is the comfort level of the bank. So I do my SBA loans, or not me, the you in between me does the SBA, no money down.
Will they do those? I thought they required 10%.
No, well,
that's for us schmucks.
Thank you.
Do you have a direct line to the SBA?
Almost.
So,
only morons and a few successful podsters like yourself put money down.
Well, again, I haven't started doing it yet. All the businesses I've built.
Well, you
like
can
a
buy
dumbass.
income faster by buying revenue than creating it organically.
100%. If I could go back, that's what I would do. I wouldn't have built everything I built. I'd buy it.
That you're going to get $250 for.
Well, this one maybe.
Well, when you get when your offers are coming in, I can't even say without laughing. When your offers are coming in over 200 million, give me a text or something. I don't carry a cell phone, but anyway. By the way, the big guys don't carry cell phones. Only you.
Well, how do you get a hold of anybody?
You don't. My life's divided into 5 parts. A woman manages each 5 of those 5. It's delegation.
Yeah, but you're already set.
No, from the beginning when I had nobody, I had a couple of the girls and there was no phones ringing. And now I'm an overnight success after 50 years.
Yeah, but like if I already had fucking hundreds of millions tucked away and a castle in Scotland, I'd probably I'd probably get rid of that too, because you really have one. You just have it with what's her name. So at the end of the day, you go, hey, anybody call me? And by the way, hey, today I want to hear about nothing from nobody. I'm golfing. I'm doing whatever.
Well, no, it'd be...
but you still have a phone. You just have it with someone else's hand.
I'd either be in the hyperbaric chamber, sucking pure oxygen, or in my cold tub.
Oh, you cold plunge. What degrees?
Huh? Down to 6. 6 takes nuts.
What in Fahrenheit, though?
Oh. 34, 35.
Yeah, that's cold. I put my shit right around 48.
Oh, fuck. That's like taking a warm bath.
Well, they say the benefit is the same.
Okay. Well, I can give you studies that whatever you want to hear.
It is confirmation bias. It's like, yeah, I like that better. What about the third leading cause of death is doctors' mistakes?
I don't know that.
Do you go to the doctors? Do you get blood tests and all that shit?
Doctors. I take my blood every 6 weeks.
So you're up on all the latest peptides and shit like that.
Okay. SS31,
Stem cells.
TB4, B12, fucking lipo, alpha lipoic acid, glutathione, testosterone, Nandarin. I'm leaving off a couple.
Anavar,
No, I don't know that one.
it's a good one.
I was going to do heroin at 80. Since I'm 50, I've been saying this. About 3 months before my 80th birthday, one of the meatheads, he sent me a clip of a talk I gave when I was 50. I'm going to do heroin when I'm 80. And so I reconsidered that, and now I'm waiting until I'm 90 to do heroin.
How long do you think you're going to live?
Way into my hundreds.
Well, I hope so.
And I'm first on the list. When some quack comes up with something, do you live forever? I got the money to pay for it. Sally wants us to be second and third on the list because she wants to see somebody else do it. And then we can do it.
Is there any harm in telling people how much money you have?
No.
How much you have? Like if you had to put it all on the table.
Well, no, I'm not, other than cash, I wouldn't tell you how much cash I have. Other than cash, I'm in 4 or 5 businesses that are probably 1 to 3 billion each. With a B.
Isn't that nowadays the new decamillionaire?
I don't know what it is. I only got ready for an interview I gave a few weeks ago to see what all the little shit things were. And some of the little shit things aren't so little shit. The AI stuff, cybersecurity stuff that I have at 0 on my books. I just got a court ruling, $700 million from the courts just 2 days ago.
So see, when you're like that, of course you're not going to have a cell phone. But all the people listening, they're not like that. They're trying to figure out what can.
When they grow up, they want to be like you.
No, they want to be like you.
Well,
but they can't do it with no phone now.
I understand your logic, but I haven't had a phone in a long, long time. I haven't driven in fucking.
Yeah, but you're an anomaly.
Yeah. But I mean, the guys that want to be like Gates or Steve Jobs and those kind of guys, they're not willing.
Elon the Musk.
Yeah, Elon the Musk. They're not willing to sleep on the shop floor. They're not willing to take because they don't have to take buses like I did. I mean, nobody's willing to do that.
You know, I think they would be, but they don't realize that it's a guaranteed. So what
There's
you
no
did,
guarantee.
I know, but what you did is you were willing to sleep on the fucking floor, even if it didn't happen, because you were doing whatever it took. Period.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of people in their minds, they think, "Oh, I would too, Dan," but they wouldn't because they're not guaranteed the outcome, and that's when they would. If you said, "Brad, come sleep on the fucking floor, show me for 3 years you'll do this, I'll give you $100 million. Here it is, lock solid," and I knew, fuck, anyone would sleep on the floor for 3 years. It's when they don't know and
uncertainty.
They don't have any certainty,
Yeah.
and that's where you had it.
But there's not that much certainty in life. I mean,
I know, but you had it.
oh well, I made it happen. I made stuff happen. You know, I took an option public. I told you the example. Let's say your building is worth $100 million, and I'm going to give you $350 million in 9 months. I want an option to be able to sell it exclusively, like you do property. Okay, and I put up an option of $60,000 on about, call it $10 million in oil reserves. 10 million. Okay, if I come back in 6 months, I'll give you 10 million. You give me all these fucking property, right? In the meantime, all I had was 60 grand. I had to beg, borrow, and steal to get the 60 grand. I didn't know this guy had sold the rights to this thing 1,000 times to morons just like me. But nobody ever came up with the money. And I decided to take it public. Nobody had ever taken an option public. So I took it public and I turned it into $350 million in 99 days. It had never been done before. And we had to do all kind of shit to get it done, but we got it done. And then I showed up with the 2.2 million, whatever it was. The guy was stunned. He had already been trying to sell it because he thought he was never going to see me again. And we filed the papers, and I took it public, and it was public on my birthday on the London Stock Exchange. And then I went over to the Netherlands and did the same thing, and then they made it illegal. So you can't do it anymore. You have to own what you take public. Like you own this business, you could take this business public, arguably, at some rate. But it's not that you have an option on this business, you own it. And last time I heard, I guess you're the only owner.
I have a partner I gave percentage to about 25 years ago.
Okay. And he turned out to be worthless as tits on a board.
No, without him, it wouldn't be here.
Oh, good. I show him how to take it away from you. That's what I know how to do that too. Where he slips.
You'd be magic. Well, killing me is one way.
No. I mean, you sleep.
Yeah, but no, I've got
in between sets. In between sets of.
When I started this company, I had 3 friends, and he wasn't one of them, or 2 friends, and so I gave them a third each, and they tried to fucking take it from me, and then found out that I have what's called a super vote.
Oh yeah,
so they got fucked, and I fired them and had to buy them out. I couldn't figure out how to fuck them out.
The real super vote is you don't have to buy them out.
Well, I wasn't that smart.
Okay.
I was.
We teach that in the course.
I was a youngster, but
we teach you how to take the business away from your dad. Case study.
And
your twin brother.
But how do you give them the balls to do it?
Well, although our testosterone levels, the average for a guy, you're 50 something?
56.
Okay. For you, maybe between 300 and 700.
I'm 955.
Okay. I'm 1900. I'm 80. I'm shooting cannonballs. Okay. Well, fuck. Anyway, getting back to the kids, 300 to 500. At the end of the first year of QLA, 50% increase in their testosterone. By the end of the third year, and they've done a couple of deals, 60 to 70%. I just saw a kid from Canada just came. I told you about, invited me to some special thing in Vegas where it's like the Ku Klux Klan for rich. And anyway, I told him I might come in January, and his testosterone has quadrupled. And I told him, you can consider yourself generational wealth. You have between 2 and 250 after taxes, cash in the bank, in more than one bank, 250.
And really, from what I'm hearing from you, it's just willing to call enough people, find a motivated buyer, use your formula, motivated seller, that'll take your fucking terms, and you give them the formulas for the terms.
Correct.
See, that's like a no-brainer, folks. Again,
but nobody does it.
You got to go to Scotland, which I think is a fucking plus, but you got to have the time to do it. That's the only reason I ain't been there.
Okay, why did the meathead, the jailbird from Australia, why does he say that people don't do it? Or did you talk about that? He did it, but why do people find it difficult to do?
Well, they don't have the money.
No, not the seminar, because all my material is free online. I mean, to make the call.
Oh, I don't know. Why?
Fear is false expectation appearing real. They don't want to get out of their comfort zone. That's why most couples fuck the same way for 25 years, you know? There was a thing that somebody sent me a link, and I was into it 6 or 7 minutes, and then I realized that picture's of a vagina. I'm having my coffee this morning. What the fuck? And I go back to the beginning, and I own health spas too. And the girls go there to make their tips unsaggy and tighten their pussy up. And I don't know what they do there. All I know is they spend a lot of money. And we just exited one of the highest paid prostitutes on the planet, did the roll up. And she pulled out, I don't know, $88 million or something. And good looking. And her husband supposedly is a plastic surgeon that doesn't know what she does. If that makes you happy, think that your husband doesn't know how you made all your money, well, that's fine. But I'm pretty sure he knows. And so we agree to disagree on that. The
only thing that I've seen from you that has not, really panned out is the old Bitcoin statement.
No, and I still don't believe in Bitcoin. But as Jamie Dimon said a couple of years, not just to me, to the shareholders, If my customers want me to make a market in shit, I'll make a market in shit. And Bitcoin is taken off. But if you think it's going to replace the dollar as the main currency, if you think it's going to be like the national bank, give me some shit and I'll get high with you. That's just not going to happen.
But it's happening.
No, well, no, it's not. So it has $2 trillion in value, whatever the value is. But if you think that the Ford Foundation, the Rocket Foundation, the Federal Bank Reserve,
they're all buying it.
they're buying 1%.
Well, why would they want any if it's going to be valueless?
No, because it's an embarrassment clause. Just in case it goes to $1 trillion, they participated. It's just so they're not totally embarrassed. But I don't know any serious portfolio manager other than the guys that are all in. That's all they do. One of my wannabes, Brian Rose. You know, he's
from London.
Real.
Yeah.
Okay? Who gave me fame and not fortune, but gave me fame 14 years ago when I was sitting retired at the castle, and he said, "Let me interview you. Let me interview you. Let me interview you." In fact, he just had something go viral when I was not physically beating up, but beating up a woman in London. When she said, "You got all the money," and so in the last couple of days, it's had 1 million views. This is 7, 8 years old. This piece of film. But
what happened to him? Is he still doing it?
Oh, Brian, yeah.
I don't see him much anymore.
Well, he got banned from YouTube. He got banned from this. He just got back on YouTube a few weeks ago. He's currently closing his operation down in London, and he's going to Dubai.
You should take your whole course in the castle and make it online, interactive, and viral. So if God forbid something does happen to you.
When I die, it's all going on. It's going open source when I'm dead. Everything I've done from A to Z is going open source.
You're just going to say, fuck it, let everybody have it.
Yeah.
Will it be public domain? Because then someone's going to grab it and privatize it and monetize it.
No, it's public domain, open source. So guys like, that you that never got around to do it. In the meantime, you could have made $5, $6, $7, $8 billion. But I don't, that's chump change. You don't need that kind of money anyway.
No, I do. And I'm going to start doing it. Like I said, November 15th, I got a little thing down there. All I said was how to get rich buying and selling businesses. And I'm bringing in this guy. He, who knows? Maybe, I don't think he went to your class, but he talks a lot like you about what is going on. And we're just going to talk about it. Like I'm not doing anything crazy, but I know that if your shit was here, I could fill rooms for you.
Oh yeah.
The problem is fucking Scotland's a long fucking way.
This could be, I walk 50 feet to class in the morning to the pavilion.
Yeah, but you're here. Why not just do one while you're here? How long does it take? A week?
Yeah, 6 nights and 7 days.
Oh, that's why. So you like to be time efficient.
Yeah, and plus we have homework that I grade you on, and if you don't, I throw you out. No money back. You got to take it serious.
How many people do you throw out?
5%.
And that's because they're fucking around.
Well, they're not doing the homework. They
They come in there like
they don't think I read the homework, which I do.
All of them?
All of them, every fucking one. I read the homework during lunch the next day. I'm not having lunch with them. I don't have breakfast with them. My wife makes me have dinner with them because pornus rubs off.
What does?
Pornus. Most of the meatheads you hang around with, other than shake hands in your green room, I don't have anything to do with. I'm thankful that they like my shit. God bless them. But I wouldn't touch them with a barge pole.
Because it rubs off.
You fucking A-right.
Maybe that's my problem.
You're the average of the 5 fucking morons you spend most of the time with.
Well, I spend most of my time with family. That's why.
You just answered your own question.
But I mean,
you can't say families without saying lies.
But all my friends, if you want to call them that, are all over the world. You can't just hang out with them. This ain't fucking high school.
I would say that you redefine what a friend means to you. I only have one left. The guy birthday 2 days ago. That means I take a bullet for him.
How does someone get to be your friend?
It's too late now. I need friends like I need AIDS.
Do you?
I don't need AIDS for sure. No. I mean, that's
Apparently doesn't kill you anymore.
well. When
You
I
know
was-
the first
when I-
sign of AIDS,
What?
just in case?
What?
Pounding sensation in your butt.
No, I've been beaten in my butt in a sexual act, but I mean, I don't know about the pounding. But when I was in my late 20s, early 30s, there was a rumor that went out that the male organ could only do between 30 and 32,000 ejaculations. And I went to 7 or 8 of the top urologists around the world because I was going to run out easily. I got more money than more sex than the Beatles, literally. And I went to guys in London, and they all kind of chuckled. And I just no, you're good for 100 or a million ejaculations. Thank you, God. I thought I was going to run out because I got laid every time I turned around. I still have people. I'm in a hotel. Somebody bumps into me, and it's a good-looking woman. I look in my pocket, her room key. To this day,
Why do you think that is?
I'm a powerful guy, and women like power. And when I was younger, I was a good-looking, powerful guy. And I could fuck all night.
You think that's important?
I know it's important.
The girls don't like to fuck all night.
Okay. Well,
They don't, do they?
I guess you kind of girls don't. I guess you kind of,
I'm just testing you.
Well, I mean, believe me, I want a girl when I was young that could suck the chrome off a trailer hitch. Just getting started.
What would
And
you
I
do?
talk like this, God forgive me. And it's hard for me to not talk like this when I'm around the clergy and shit like that, It is, because that's my vocabulary.
I think I asked you this last time, but I want you to say it one more time because I know that you had a certain time frame, and we're getting past
Yeah,
that.
and they're going to take me to the signature, and I'm going to get on my net fuck jet.
And then where are you going?
Los Angeles. I got a dinner tonight, and I have a speech tomorrow, and then we get on a plane tomorrow night from LAX to go back to London.
Will you take fees to do speeches
Yeah, I do.
so people can call you for that?
Yeah.
Because dude, there's a lot of people that say, well, how do you know him and how do you get him? And I'm like, fuck, I don't know. I think you got to go to Scotland. But if you told
No, I do. I'm giving a speech in November.
what do you charge?
It depends if I feel any charitable part of it, but 100 grand.
That ain't bad.
No.
And
But I talk, they say, what do we get for 100 grand? If I'm enjoying myself, I might talk all night. If I'm not enjoying myself, I only guarantee 15 minutes.
so last question, then I'll
Okay.
get you out of here. What, again, you woke up in the morning tomorrow.
And I pole vault to the bathroom.
No, I do.
You still.
No, but you
You understand
realize
pole vault in the bathroom,
yes,
right?
I got it. But you literally wake up tomorrow, you go to the fucking mirror, and somehow
I'm 20 now.
we switch places. No, you're just 56
Oh,
again.
fuck.
And you're me.
Making it harder now. You're putting conditions.
Nothing different other than you're me. It's a little heavier. Other than that, it's the same. What would you do?
Okay, the first thing I do is read your first 100 million for free. My book's for free online. Okay, it's been downloaded a couple million times. Second thing I do is read Cure for Dummies, which we set up this course for grade school kids. It's the most popular thing adults read.
This is all on your website.
All free on my website. And then I would decide what industry, doesn't really matter. We used to throw a phone book down, Yellow Pages. They don't have those anymore. And wherever it would open up to, plumbing, that's it. Or landscaping, that's it. Or chiropractic, that's it. Pharmacies, that's it. And I would find a leading person to be my chairperson, somebody you don't have to explain about, like Ben Carson in medicine. Everybody knows Ben Carson, the black doctor, pediatrician, the surgeon, or the former secretary of, whatever. And then I would leverage off that one person to build the rest of my board. And I would use that board to convince a big four accounting firm and big time law firm to do success-oriented fees. In other words, because I got no money to do my first 2 or 3 deals on a success basis, meaning when I can cash flow after 2 or 3 successful deals, I then start paying them fees. But in the meantime, I don't pay them anything. Don't pay the board anything. What you want when you're interviewing, LinkedIn was a godsend whenever they came up with LinkedIn. And the only thing you want to hear from these potential board members is, really sounds like a great idea. Subject to conflict, I'm very interested. Not if they talk about money, if you're in a cab, throw them out of the cab. We don't pay these guys dick, nothing. And almost everybody on LinkedIn is broke, contrary to what they say. Flat fucking broke, because they've gone from corporate America, corporate world, whatever, living off their expense account and off the extra benefits you get of being a senior person. Now you don't have the ski lodge, you don't have this, you don't have unlimited American Express. And their wife says, honey, we shouldn't have retired. The biggest decision they make within the first 6 months of retirement, they can't afford to retire. And they're ashamed that they fucked up. So you're going to be their savior. Sorry, I can't look at you thinking of you as a savior somehow. Close my eyes.
Why don't they just go to fucking Scotland and do what you're doing?
Well, they could.
Because I mean, you don't need to be fucking 20. You don't need to be.
No,
you can be
the oldest
60.
we've had is 77, and he was
Because you said you only need 3 to 5 years of it.
correct.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter how old you fucking are.
No,
If
that's
I retired early and realized I didn't sock enough away, and I don't want my fucking wife getting pissed off or railed from the neighbor, I need to figure out what to do. And buying and selling businesses is to me, if you got,
You're mostly buying in the beginning, and then you exit as a whole.
do you do anything?
Private equity, you can buy shit for 3 to 5 times EBITDA all day long, and they'll give you 8 to 12.
As long as the number's high enough.
They want you to do 30, 40 acquisitions so they don't have to get their fingers dirty.
Now, a guy like me that has a little bit of social media influence, can't I buy a company that's doing the right formula according to your numbers and then point some attention at it and get it up a little bit and exit even quicker?
Correct.
So influencers
Yeah,
should all be coming.
but they don't.
No, because they're not. Dude, I've had influencers with more followers than me come here and they're like, and they're broke. And I'm like, well, why don't you monetize your following? And they're like, I don't know how. I'm like, dude, you come up with ways to fucking help them. Period. And if you can't help them, direct them to somebody that can. And then tell that person, give me a little piece for the niece, a little fraction of the action. And then you fucking show everybody, here's the help you need. I should have fucking made a deal with you, but you only got 25 seats. I wouldn't have been a very big deal. That's why I want you to go online, because I'll bet you.
Oh, I know why you want me to go online.
I'll bet you 1 million people would buy your course.
Probably more.
And by the way, out of that 1 million would be where you find all the Scotland people. Not that you need them, because it's sold out every fucking quarter.
Correct.
So
it's
almost like you're doing it
I haven't had to work in over 40 years.
Yeah, but it's almost like you're doing that because you're kind.
Well,
But-
some people say I've gotten kinder as I go older. I don't believe that's true.
Why do you care about helping them?
I want already nobody's ever going to create the trillions I've already created, but I want to have the number so large that it lasts for 1,000 years. And as it is right now, I mean, nobody talks about numbers because they haven't created any. And every day I wake up and I've added 1 billion, 1.5 billion. While I'm taking a shit, while I'm on top of my wife, 1 billion, 1.5 billion, without doing anything. The residual effect of my model is, it just. Now it's hard to add to my numbers from the perspective of, it's in the trillions. But I mean, I've done more business and created more wealth than, GDP of 85% of the countries on the planet. And now I'm starting to get recognition, which I enjoy. I enjoy getting these knighthoods and stuff like that. But it doesn't stop me from working. It just doesn't. It's a big project. I take on a couple other big projects. And this AI thing that is going to change how you look at finance. It's going to change finance forever. Because 85% of finance as we know it today will not be there when AI takes over. Bank of America is not going to have any branches. That's already begun.
Yeah, that has begun.
Okay? That's way ahead of the curve of all the other models.
Do you think AI is going to fuck up the QLA opportunity?
No. Because there's always going to be a pharmacy on the street corner. There's always going to be a place where you can clean your clothes, 24-hour clean your clothes. There's always going to be a liquor store, a package store. There's always going to be
As long as it's
golf
making money.
courses.
As long as it's making money, right? It could be an e-com store.
It doesn't make a shit. It's harder to control e-commerce because it's too easy to hide and cheat where the money's coming from. But I've been through that. I used to be one of the biggest advertisers on Google, 100 million a year. We used to make 70, 80, 90,000 a day on AdSense.
What do you think the best industry right now in the next 2 years is going to be?
Healthcare.
Healthcare.
The lower end, assisted living, home health. And then you build up 8, 10, 15, then...
What about like recovery homes?
Oh, well, that's assisted living. Same.
So healthcare hoses, like the places
Correct.
where you get recovered addicts to go.
Correct.
Elderly homes or whatever they're called,
Yeah.
fucking old folks homes, what we called them when I was young. Any of those.
As long as they're cash flowing positive.
Yeah. And these people, and there's tons of them, mom and pop.
In Bavaria, which is a section of Germany, outside Munich, there's 31,000 of them. And I have 4 or 5 in German, and we're in different, they don't call them provinces, but anyway. And the...
Do you have more shit going on in the U.S. from your students or
no,
elsewhere?
it's about 70-30. 70% here, 30% the rest of the world.
Do you ever have U.S. people that can buy in Munich and shit like
Correct,
that?
Yeah.
Are
It's
there,
harder for the people in Munich to buy here. You got to get a green card. You got to do this. You got to do that.
can I buy in Munich?
Yeah.
Because I don't give a fuck where it
Yeah,
is.
well, and you shouldn't. Who gives a shit?
I'm just going to come learn the formulas, follow the formula.
Yeah. We write them down for you, and you're going to get a thumb drive. It's got 32 gigs on it, about. I don't know if 32 gigs is a lot or a little. I think it's a lot. And we're going to tell you how, and nothing is alphabetized. It's helter-skelter because I want you to go through the 32 gigs to find the information. And once you've gone through all the shit, you know where it is. And then, so we don't chronologically or alphabetically set it up for you. But we've got guys that when you talk to them, you think you're listening to a hologram of this me because they make this their life. They immerse themselves. And when you go to the gym, instead of listening to whatever you listen, you're listening to me.
I mean, after a while, isn't it all the same shit?
Some guys have been doing it 20 years and they know a lot of it. But to me, it's my life. I live this. That's this way when I take a shit, when I brush my teeth, when I take a shower, when I eat, when I have my cocktail at night. I just talk. That's why it's harder for me to deal with the Catholic Church because every other word is fuck and everything's shit. And so I do the best I can to clean it up so I don't have to subject the priests and the few nuns that I work with. But
and what would stop you from doing a hedge fund, like a fund? Because like you get deal flow, and that's what a lot of people want. So if I said to my buddies, "Hey, Dan will fucking flow every deal he's got through us, but he ain't putting in no money,"
well, first of all, hedge funds inherently do the little guy shit. Their formula is to fuck them in every orifice they have.
Well, they're not going to do it on their own.
No, but they're too lazy to do it on their own.
I know. So why not throw money at me and I'll go do it?
Well, that's possible. But I mean, the 7-year lifespan for a fund, lifespan for an average fund is 7 years. 7 years. And my deal is 3 years. If you fuck everything up, it's 7 years. And
I just think if someone got good at your formula, maybe your mentees would do it, but somebody got good at your formula because it is really, when it boils down to it, a fucking formula. And as soon as you have a formula that works, I know a guy here, he's got one that freaking crushes. It's basically mechanic shops, like little mom and pop.
We roll those up.
Mechanic shops. Well, he's got a process and has had a process. So he can grab a company, guaranteed do this by putting in his processes. And then he rolls them all up because they're worth more at the top. And so like I just want to give him my money because he's already figured it out. Well, that's what I'm thinking. Like somebody does the QLA, they got the system down. They're like certified by you.
It's easier for you to do
better for you.
No, but it's easier for you to do the system. Then you don't have that other guy. You're that other guy.
Yeah, but all the money collectively is other people's money. Then I just go find them because I ain't afraid to find the deals. So if I had a big pool of someone else's money, because again, I told my buddy the other day, and I'm just being honest because I tell the truth. It's easier for me to invest your money than mine. Why? Well, because I don't want to lose mine.
Well, you're not emotionally involved.
Yeah, and I'll risk yours quicker than I'll risk mine.
Yeah, I'm just the opposite. I'm not a risk averse because I know the biggest returns. The biggest deal people talk about is turning $800 into $450 million. That's 55 million% over 7 years.
Yeah, but I mean, I have big balls when it's your money.
Yeah,
but when it's my
I have
money,
big balls no matter whose money.
they shrink a little.
Yeah,
Because I don't want to I don't want to end up flat broke again. But if I did, I'm not too worried because I'll get it back. But I just don't want to. So it's like, to me, sometimes nowadays, because I have a little to lose, I think, I better be careful. I don't want to lose it. Where when I came up, I didn't care. I fucking bet it all, and I'd literally have, let's say, 50 grand in the bank, and there's a $50,000 risk. My bank account was zero, and I didn't give a fuck. Worst case scenario, fuck, I got to go sell something. Like, I didn't care. Now that it's bigger stakes, more people at risk. That's what I mean by, like, I'm not that ruthless, because now it's like I got to be a little careful because I have everybody fucking depending on me. Back then,
well, I don't worry about that. But what I do is, I have 50 guys that know my gig, 95% of what I know. 50, at least 50. Maybe more than 50.
do you ever do alumni shit?
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah. And at my 80th birthday, we had 100 people in the room, 80 mentees, 20 guys that I grew up with, etc. Okay. We had $5.6 billion in the room.
No tattoo?
Except, tattoo came because I wanted him to tell a story.
No secret handshakes?
No. And
No secret societies?
no. There are secret things on Facebook I'm not part of.
That started with QLA members?
Yeah, they're all.
How many members are there?
3.5 million.
Million? How so?
They've done 1 to 500 deals.
Yeah, but how many?
We have people that go on my website, one guy, 200 times a day.
Oh, you mean anybody who's ever visited your shit?
No, that it proved to us. We don't just say, when you say you made $50 billion, where your audited financials, blah, blah. I mean, we don't just take the fucking numbers like a lot of the guys do. I mean, you got to prove it.
So, but what you're saying with 3.5 million, I'm thinking that came to the castle. I'm like, fuck.
No.
How?
We've got, let's see, a couple thousand have come to the castle.
Like that would be what I would consider the insider.
Well, they're not inside. I don't sell the platinum. That's all a hand job, because you have no money. That's why you do that. If you got any fucking money, you're not selling different levels of exposure to people like a fucking horse slut.
Yeah, but you have to go you have to go to fucking Scotland. That means you're bought in more.
Hey, don't come. I don't care.
No, but that's why you make it special.
There's 2 or 3 podsters out there that have maybe more money than I do. 2 or 3 out of the million.
I wouldn't know of any.
Well, there's 2 or 3 guys, all of which made their money off of my model.
And you call them
I call them podsters or podfucks.
Yeah.
There's a kid here in town, 19 years old, a billionaire.
No shit.
Correct.
And he's a pod fuck?
He's a pod fuck, but he made his money off of a roll-up.
Can you get lucky and crack one out the gate?
Yeah. But I mean, is luck 3 years? 3 years transcends luck.
Yeah. Folks, I think you're already fucking...
Go fuck yourself, everybody.
Hey, if you go look and do your own homework, you'll realize that Scotland is a great place to visit. Going out there for 7 days, hanging out at the castle and learning the formula that's made this man fucking very wealthy and apparently a lot of other people very wealthy wouldn't be a bad idea, folks. So go follow Dan at Dan S. Pena. Website, danpena.co.uk if you want those tickets. If you want the free resources, he just fucking told you.
Yeah.
98% of it's all free. So go read the book. He said if he was me, he woke up, his dick was a little bit bigger and realized he was me that day, he would go read 2 books on his website. You didn't finish.
First 100 million and Cure for Dummies.
And then what? Apply it?
No, and then take the test before you read the books, because we have 4 tests. And then take the test after you read the 2 books. Okay? And then you go out and find a chairman. Chairman is the most important person in your life, including your wife.
I'm doing it. I'm going to do it before you get back to Scotland.
God bless you.
Mr. Pena, thank you for coming in.
You're
folks.
very welcome.
As always, till next time, keep it real.
Good.